Hello friends and welcome. If you're new here, I'm Haley. I make nature-inspired videos and magical recipes. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a spring magic tea party, and I'll be sharing all the recipes and decor ideas with you. I wanted this tea party to feel like a celebration of what I love most about the spring season: fresh herbs and vegetables, blooming flowers, and the vibrant colors in nature this time of year. The menu is all about simple, seasonal food that feels playful and whimsical, and I'm also sharing some easy decor tips to bring more spring magic to your table. I hope this video gives you some ideas and inspiration to create your own magical spring tea party. Let's get started with the recipes. I wanted to feature a lot of fresh herbs and spring produce in this menu while still keeping everything simple and fun. Most of the recipes in today's video can be made ahead of time, which makes hosting a lot easier. Throughout the video, I'll be sharing some tips on how to simplify things even more, like using store-bought swaps if you're short on time. I've linked all the recipes in the description below if you want to follow along or save them for later. So without further ado, let's get started. For our first recipe, we'll be making this adorable spring garden patch dip with green goddess hummus. I saw this idea to arrange veggies in a dip like a mini garden patch on Pinterest, and I was inspired to make my own spring-themed version with homemade hummus. If you're short on time, you can absolutely use store-bought hummus for this recipe. You can also mince up some fresh herbs and sprinkle them on top for the green. I'm making a big double batch of my green goddess hummus. This makes a lot of hummus, but if you're having a smaller party, you can just make one batch and serve it in a smaller dish. To a blender, I'm adding 4 cups of baby spinach, fresh basil, cilantro, dill, parsley, and chopped green onions. Then I'm adding garlic, fresh lemon juice, and olive oil. I'll blend everything together until smooth, and then add drained and rinsed garbanzo beans, tahini, and kosher salt. Then I'm blending everything together again until smooth and scooping the mixture into a glass baking dish. Before the party, I'm pressing veggies into the dip in rows to make it look like a mini garden patch. I'm adding some mini bell peppers, purple cauliflower, asparagus, radishes, and carrots. I love the presentation of this dip for parties. It's super cute and really fun to eat. Next, I'm making these adorable mini quiches with spring veggies and smoked Gouda. If you're running low on time, you can definitely use store-bought mini quiches from the freezer section instead. To get started, I'm rolling out a store-bought pie crust onto a floured surface and using a 3-inch round cookie cutter to cut the dough into rounds. Then I'm pressing the dough into a greased muffin pan to create the crust. Next, I'm finely chopping some asparagus and green onions for the filling, and then sautéing them in olive oil over medium heat, along with some peas. I'm also grating some smoked Gouda to sprinkle on top. I love the savory smokiness it adds to the quiches, but you can definitely use Parmesan or cheddar cheese here instead. To make the egg mixture, I'm combining some eggs, whole milk, heavy cream, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and smoked paprika, and whisking everything together. To assemble the quiches, I'm placing about a teaspoon of the veggies in each crust and then pouring the egg mixture over top. Finally, I'm sprinkling the quiches with the shredded Gouda before placing them in the oven to bake. The quiches can be made a day or two in advance and served either at room temperature or warmed up before your tea party. These quiches are such a delicious recipe for spring entertaining. The savory smokiness of the cheese pairs so well with the spring vegetables. They're just so delicious and definitely one of my favorites from this party. Next, we're making some cream cheese stuffed mini peppers that look like carrots. These are so delicious and a great make-ahead recipe for spring parties. To get started, I'm mincing some fresh herbs for the cream cheese filling. To save time, you can even substitute the herb cream cheese with chive and onion flavored cream cheese from the grocery store. To a bowl, I'm adding some cream cheese, lemon juice, dill, chives, garlic powder, and some salt, and mixing everything together until completely combined. Then I'm cutting some orange mini bell peppers in half lengthwise, cutting off the stem with a paring knife, and using a spoon to scoop out the seeds. Then I'm taking a sprig of dill and placing it at the top of each bell pepper to create a carrot. I'm piping the cream cheese into each pepper and using a spoon to smooth out the filling. These little bell pepper carrots are so adorable, and I love this recipe for a gathering because you can make the cream cheese filling a couple days in advance and fill the peppers on the day of your event to save time. The herbed cream cheese filling and the sweet crunchy peppers are so good together. For dessert, I'm making carrot cake. I love carrot cake in the spring, but it can definitely be a little complex and time-consuming to make from scratch. But recently, I figured out a way to simplify the recipe by using a box of spice cake mix as the base, which makes the recipe a lot faster and easier while still tasting homemade. This is such a great shortcut for when you want to make something special but don't have a ton of time. To a large bowl, I'm adding a package of spice cake mix, milk, olive oil, eggs, grated carrots, cinnamon, ginger, raisins, and chopped pecans. I'm mixing everything together until completely combined. Then I'm dividing the mixture into greased cake pans and placing them in the oven to bake. In the meantime, I'm making some cream cheese frosting. This is a great recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. I will link it below. After frosting the cake, I'm adding some sprigs of parsley and carrot curls for garnish. I will leave a link below to instructions on how to make carrot curls. They're super easy. I'm also adding some tulips to garnish the cake. I was so happy with how this cake turned out. It was such a nice centerpiece for the spring tea party, and it tasted fantastic. You would never know that it started as a box mix with some extra ingredients. These matcha-dipped strawberries are one of my favorite easy spring desserts, and they're a super simple 4-ingredient recipe. To a bowl, I'm adding some white chocolate chips, matcha powder, and coconut oil. I'm bringing some water up to a simmer in a saucepan, then placing the bowl on top to create a double boiler. This is going to help heat the chocolate evenly to prevent it from burning. I'm mixing the chocolate until it's melted and completely smooth, removing it from the heat, dipping strawberries into the melted chocolate, and placing them on a parchment-lined baking tray to set. Once the chocolate has hardened, the berries are ready to enjoy. I love this recipe so much because the matcha chocolate creates a crunchy shell that pairs perfectly with sweet, juicy strawberries, and the bright green color is just perfect for spring. For our tea, I'm making some spring mint green tea. This is a fresh, energizing blend that's fantastic, hot or iced, and I think the flavors pair really well with the rest of the menu. To a jar, I'm adding some green tea, lemon balm, spearmint, and peppermint, and mixing everything together. I'm sealing the lid to store the blend until it's time for our tea party. For this tea party, I wanted to go with a light spring theme with lots of green and pops of bright pink and orange. I'm setting out a white tablecloth and layering a lace table runner on top. I'm also making a few floral arrangements for the party with beautiful spring flowers like tulips, hydrangeas, and daffodils. I've seen a few flower arrangements with carrots on Pinterest, and I thought this was such a great idea for a spring party, so I wanted to try making my own. I'm using a glass pitcher, but you can use a tall glass vase here as well. First, I'm arranging one bunch of carrots with tops around the edge of the vase. I'm adding in bigger stems like hydrangeas, and then adding roses, tulips, and daffodils throughout for some pops of color. I just love how this arrangement turned out. The carrots on the bottom of the vase are so cute and perfect for a spring party, and I think the carrot tops make the arrangement feel a little more organic and whimsical. Now that the flowers are ready to go, it's time to set out the food and start our tea party. So friends, I hope this video inspires you to make your own spring magic tea party. I also wanted to say a very big thank you to my patrons for making this video possible. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.